How are we going? Have a look at these eggplants. And you know what it's time to do? Plant them. But before we do that, we're going to cut it in half. Yeah, let's go cut it. Now, not everybody loves eggplants. I get that, folks. If you like eggplant parmigiana, I reckon you're going to love eggplants to grow them in your own garden because they taste a lot better. I love them grilled, you know, with a little bit of garlic over the top, olive oil, obviously salt and pepper. Delicious. If you do it in a mixed veggie saute, really nice. It's an acquired taste, obviously. One of my favourites is actually moussaka. Now, you know, we love parmigiana, but moussaka with eggplants, potato and zucchini, to die for. Now, growing an eggplant, where I live down here, seldom you'll see an eggplant live more than 1 year. I've tried that in the past by covering them, and it's done not bad. It sort of survived about 60%, but then it really struggled from there on. But in the warmer parts of Victoria, and obviously in other parts of Australia where it is a lot warmer than what we have, you'll be able to grow them almost 3 or 4 or 5 years in a row. Now that's an eggplant that's just normal like this, if you maintain it well. Now, if you want to get extra long life out of these plants, and not just life, but even production almost all through the year, if you're in a nice, warm, hot climate, you need to graft them. And it's not grafting them onto a cherry rootstock like a tomato, but rather from the same family, Solanum family. This is what we call the devil's plant, if you like. Cow's udder, or Solanum mimosum is what I know it as. There's a few other species, or varieties of this, I should say, that can also be grafted on, but I find this one in particular is the best. And the thing about this is, look at the spines on the bottom side of the leaves. Not only on the bottom, they're also on the top, right along where the veins run. So if you're not careful handling this plant, it's like grabbing yourself some stinging nettle, but worse, because these things are not fine nettles. These are like little pins, and they can get jabbed into you really easily. Now, these suit really well when it comes to grafting. The idea about grafting plants is to make sure you know where the cambium layer is, and that generally is below the outer skin. You can easily peel the outer skin layer, or bark if you like. I call it skin because it's really soft. And you'll find where you find that white wood or the other layers underneath. So there's one layer in particular, once you peel that off, whether it's an eggplant or a tree or any other plant in fact, you'll find the cambium layer runs just underneath the outer layer of the skin that you peeled. I hope that made sense. So when you peel it back, the sap flow is just underneath the outer skin. Real simple, how's that? And that's what you need to line up. So they're the pipelines of where the moisture runs through. We're talking about the sap. So when you've got a plant like this and a plant like that, the two stems that join together, I know I'm only using my fingers where I should be doing it in real time, the two stems that join together, the outer sides almost need to be flush to each other so that the cambium layers line up. And I'll show you in real time as we go through this. First, we're going to put our glasses on. We'll see what we're doing. All right. So what we need to do is match up the diameter. You can see how nice and thick and woody that is. Well, it's not, actually it is. It's quite firm, a little bit wobbly because it's top heavy. That needs to go in the ground. So that diameter there matches up not too bad with that one there. See, this is over 2 years old, this wood here. That's last season's growth, and we can see the new growth coming on now. You want to graft onto last season's growth there, which is nice and firm. A little bit softer than that is okay, but not too soft. Otherwise they become a little bit flimsy, but still they will taper. You just got to be more delicate. Now when it comes to cutting these back, do not throw the eggplant away, because we should be able to salvage this and get another plant growing out of it. So I'm just going to avoid that little node there and cut just above it, like that. Okay, so I used the pocket pruners, which are not bad for small light cuts. We need to remove all the leaves. That's important, like that. Even this big leaf here. Why? Well, it's going to need a lot of moisture to stay afloat, and there's no moisture running to it at the moment, so we need to sacrifice it and do it like that. Now, don't touch it too much, meaning around the edges where it's been cut. Just put it aside like that. And now we're going to cut this one as well. Actually, let's just line it up. Yeah, that's pretty good, I reckon. We'll get there. Might go just a bit. Yeah. And the graft that we're doing here is a typical wedge graft. Very simple, nothing fancy. And this, again, I'm going to cut this down and plant it back and get another plant out of that. Nothing goes to waste here, folks, except for the leaves. And that's going to go in the ground, and that's going to grow again as well. Let me just remove these leaves like that, because the wind will take it away. There we are. Now, let me line it up. Actually, the eggplant's slightly wider in diameter, but that's okay. So if we splice it that way, some of the small intricate things you got to look at, folks. See, it's not actually round. It's oblong shape, oval shape. And let's look at the bottom of the eggplant. It's much wider in diameter, okay? Now, if I was to split that this way, I'm going to get far less flesh, if you like, and wood on the inside, so it's going to be a little bit flimsy. Where if I split it that way, there, we've got a better chance of controlling it from splitting open and falling apart. And that will go, well, that will have to go that way. Anyway, let's just start splitting. Now, what I'm using, retractable blade, folks. You can use a grafting and budding knife. Now, admittedly, I haven't grafted eggplants for a few years now, so wish me luck. Here we go. I'm sort of walking it down. I'm not pushing it, I'm just walking it and slicing on each sort of rocking action. You can see it's just working its way down, making sure I'm still going down the center, am I? Slightly to the one side. So hard to do things with glasses on. It's bloody harder to do them without. And you get it back in there. There we are. I should say this is a fresh blade, and I did run it under some metho. This is a moment in my life where I'm actually struggling to multitask, so just bear with me. Okay, I don't want to stuff this up. I've got plenty more anyway. Now, anybody does this for a living are probably laughing at me now. All right, that's the split. It's not a big deep one. I might go a little bit further, but let's just see how we go with the wedging on this. The aim here is to create a flathead screwdriver, and that way we can wedge it in and get it nice and flush. The only problem I have with this sort of eggplant where it's grown like that, see the nodes, how close they are? I need to create a wedge, and that part there is a bit of a sticking point because it's like a knot. Even though it's a soft wood, it's still going to make it a little bit difficult for the blade to go through. So we're going to go in there like that. Yeah, because otherwise it's going to be too wide. So funny enough, the eggplant's actually wider in diameter than the rootstock. Oh, that was easy. It's been a while since I've done that, huh? And let's just try this side now. I'm going to have to come up a bit higher and work my way down. Just got to be careful past that knot, because that's how it flicked last time. There we are, getting there. It's an extra large cut. Let's see if that works. Now, what we have on the one side, I need to clean it up. And what I'm doing now in real time, folks, is showing you that on hardwood it's a lot easier. On softwood, it's really a bit of an art form. Okay, that's fine. Now, just don't want to walk it too much. See what I've done on this side here? See how I've lined it up? And it's pretty much almost in the same diameter. See it? Hopefully that you can see that carefully. We've got a bit of an open wound there because I went a little bit high, but I needed to get past that knot. Otherwise it would have split out completely different. Now, on your side, I'm just going to take these leaves off because we don't want this plant to grow. I should have done that earlier, but strip all the leaves off. Oh, they're not too bad. So the aim here is to seal it nice and tight, and the wedge is not bad. On your side, it's nice and tight. My side, a little bit squeezy there we need to do. And what I mean by squeezy, I'm using the butterfly clips. There are specific clips available. I don't sell them. I find these are pretty good. They hold on pretty well. There we are, like that. If you want to go one step further, we can put some grafting tape over the top. Actually, that shouldn't be there. Just there, like that. But I will actually cover this. Use the buddy tape, the really soft stuff. You can stretch it out first. It's a lot easier than the grafting tape because the grafting tape is for grafting hardwood. It's a lot narrower in diameter, really firm. It's almost like a belt like compared to the buddy tape, which is quite flexible. Now, buddy tape is quite expensive. Also, the BioGraft tape we have online, that's super cheap. I'm going to see if I can get it because I need to cover it. This is a BioGraft tape. It's really soft. It's just like Glad wrap. I mean, you can use cling wrap if you like, but it's pretty wide. It's hard to handle. So I'm just going to tie it on like that and pull it tight. Make sure you don't dislodge the graft, because if it gets out of line and the cambium layers don't line up, and by lining them up, remember it's the outer surface. If they're both the same diameter, you're fine. If one's narrower, make sure the top one should be the narrower one, not the bottom one. Slide it to the one side so they're flush on the outside. And that way you know at least you've got some contact from one to the other. I've just tied that up there like that, just to hold it together. But I'm going to put a little bit more over the top to seal that cut that I've done. And if you do a cut like that, it's always a good idea too, unless it's a really robust plant, but you don't want to leave an open wound like that. And this stuff is a little bit delicate to handle, but just enough to seal it. I know it looks a bit messy, but folks, it's not the initial look that we're worried about. It's making sure we've got the contact right. And that will actually protect it from drying out too, so you don't want the wind getting in there. Just want the heat. And there we go, put that on, squeeze it tight. Now what do you do from here on? Well, make sure it stays hydrated, keep it away from the afternoon sun. If you're in a hot spot, keep it in the shade if you can, especially, or under a hothouse environment that's a little bit, not breezy, but cool, not too hot, will be ideal. But leaving this out in the blazing sun whilst it's still connecting, it's going to put a lot of strain in keeping that sap flow to this tip here. And if that wilts over and doesn't lift up after a few days, I'd be concerned to unwrap that and check it. There's one. And I've got another 30 or 40 to go, folks. Now, these will become available. I know I'm doing them in real time. Meaning you're watching this the day after I've just grafted it, right? So they're gonna go into my little makeshift hothouse at the back there until we drain the lap pool that we've created there from the last rains we've had. So these will be, I reckon, by mid-December, maybe for Christmas, they'll be ready. Put them in the ground, and these aren't for 1 year, folks. Remember that. You're going to keep these, maintain them, protect them, and if you've got them in a nice warm spot, you'll be able to keep them year after year. And at the end of the day, the worst thing that can happen, well, the worst thing that can happen is the whole thing dies. Well, second to that is the graft or the eggplant on top doesn't produce or dies off for you in winter, but you've got the rootstock, and I can guarantee you this little beauty here, you'll have it for life. So if you like your eggplants and you want to pick almost throughout the whole year, think about getting a grafted variety like this when they become available very soon. Now, before we go, folks, remember the cutting off the rootstock, which is the devil plant. That there we're going to propagate. Now, if you end up having one of these or buying one of these or already got one, no doubt you already know about it. Any cuttings you take off, you can propagate quite easily. It's a wild plant. Don't let it get rampant or grow out of control, and don't let it flower at the end of the day, unless you want to collect the seeds. But really, once you let the flowers come out, you're gonna have them growing everywhere. You don't want them spreading around. It doesn't grow that fast, and it's meaning it doesn't spread that easily. But be cautious about them, and they're ideal for a rootstock. That's about it. Now, this bag here. Don't mind the flies coming out of it with the fungus gnats. We've got everything going on in here. I'm going to use this to put that in there. It's wet as, because it's been open for a while in the rain. And this was our potting mix. I've got some plastic in here. This is the potting mix. Look at that. Look at the potting mix we got. I can't believe it. The worms are just bursting out. That's because we put worm castings in there as well with all our wonderful nutrients. Yeah, all right. There's a little bit of grey paper plastic in there. It's going to happen, well, it's happened to me. You'll always get a little bit here and there, folks. Forever plastics, I hate them, I know. But for the eggplant for now, that's fine. Mate, I'm thinking about grabbing that and putting it in the garden bed, but there's a little bit too much of this going on. Anyway, for the pot, we'll get away with it. You don't need any rooting powders or anything or hormones. Just be careful when you handle it. because I'm squeezing it, but not enough to prick my fingers. If you've got really delicate, soft skin, you got to be very careful with that. Now just, oh, look at that potty mix. Oh, yeah. See, now I'm sinking it down. You know why? It's like a little mini hothouse. A little bit of a wall there. Not that it really needs it, but anyway, there we are. So that's done. That's going in the ground. Put that aside and then cut some more and graft more, and you never have to buy an eggplant again or a rootstock. And don't forget, liquid gold EK Butch every couple of weeks, half strength, perfect, nice protection, and everyone's going to be happy. Stay tuned for more grafting crazy episodes. Who knows, I might graft, I don't know, a zucchini onto a pumpkin. Now I'm talking crap. Check out our website, vasiliesgarden.com. Don't forget, I'll be at Red Hill this Saturday, and I might be swinging past Dandenong on Sunday as well. But also 3AW Radio, both Saturday and Sunday. So tune in. In the meantime, have a great day and a safe week. From me, Vasili, Maresi.